So, skincare lovers, makeup lovers, perfume lovers, hair care lovers, you're in the right place. Today, I'm doing my first ever Sephora sale recommendation video. In the past, I've always done my hauls or my cart because honestly, I got really overwhelmed with the idea of giving recommendations. So I asked on my Instagram, quick plug, it's at the Rudi Berry, how you guys would want to get this recommendation information. And basically, we agreed that it's okay to basically talk about newness and standout items. So that is what we're doing today. I've got my big old bag next to me and it's pretty much full to the brim. So this is gonna be a longer video, but also, you know, if I'm giving a recommendation, you can pretty much go ahead and assume this is a good product. So I'm gonna try and tell you why it's special or why I think you should purchase it during the sale and less about like, I love this, because like obviously I love it, I'm recommending it to you. I have a few skincare items, perfumes, one very like specific hair care product, and obviously a ton of makeup. So if you are interested in learning a little bit more about the Sephora sale, I'll have everything linked down below. It is currently happening, and depending on what tier you're in with Sephora's Beauty Insider is when you can shop. I'll have the code listed down below, the dates, the link to shop, and I'll also have links to all of these products listed. So let's just get into it. Again, my name is Rudi. Thank you so much for being here. Please don't forget to subscribe before you leave and join in. Okay, should we start skincare, hair care, makeup, perfume? I'm thinking skincare first because I don't have a ton of stuff. So I have got 2 moisturizers, an eye cream, a retinol. I think that's it. Okay, so both my current morning and nighttime moisturizers are from Sephora at the moment. And I typically like buying drugstore moisturizers because you go through them so quickly. But I will say there is something very special about these two. So I'll start with my morning moisturizer, which is the In Beauty Project 10+10 moisturizer. So there's a couple reasons why I think that this is special. One, it is a really cool texture. It's kind of like in between a lotion and a cream. It's not too heavy, and I think that it would work on oily skin or dry skin. If you're dry, I think this would be great under a nice thick SPF, and if you're oily, I think this would be really nice on its own. It's absolutely beautiful. It's got a really creamy, silky texture. It's of course fragrance-free and safe for sensitive skin, and also the second reason is the ingredient breakdown in this. There is a 10% peptide complex. I freaking love peptides. They're like my favorite ingredient of the year. 10% vitamin C complex. So I'm not typically someone who wears vitamin C like on their own. I just have pretty sensitive skin and I prefer to just, I don't know, use other things to brighten my skin like niacinamide. And it has ceramides. So the fact that it has vitamin C complex in here to help brighten the skin, but it also has these other ingredients that are going to help build up your skin barrier, to me is like the perfect way to get that brightening without the irritation. So I've been using this for, I don't know, like 6 months at this point, and I absolutely love it. It does not pill. It has not made any of my sunscreens pill, and I wear it under almost all of my sunscreens every single day. I love this. I think this is In Beauty Project's best launch, and I would recommend you pick it up. I said I wasn't gonna talk that much about each one and I just rambled. Okay, so the nighttime moisturizer that I'm currently using that I don't believe I've talked about, but that I want you to know about is the Milk Vegan Moisturizer. Now, I'm mentioning this today because Milk Makeup is only available at Sephora, and this is a makeup brand's moisturizer. I've said in the past, like, I'm not a huge fan of when makeup products or makeup brands create skincare, but this is an exception because this is freaking amazing. You've probably seen other people talk about how good this is, so I was glad when they sent it to me that I actually tried it out because I don't think I would have picked it up on my own, but I love it. This is a super thick texture. It's a cream and it almost sits on the skin like an ointment. And I don't want to say that and freak you out because it's not like that. But for example, like this winter, as I've gotten into spring and it's still pretty cold and dry out, I use this and I don't have to use anything else over it to help occlude my moisturizer. So slugging, for example, a lot of times I will slug around my mouth because I get super dry, cracked skin. But ever since I started using this, I wake up and nothing is cracked. It's just like completely moisturized, everything looks good, and I haven't had any breakouts. Also fragrance free, it's freaking gorgeous. If you're oily, I don't think that now is the time to get this because we're about to get into the heat of the summer, but if you're dry or combo, you need to try this out. Okay, the next skincare recommendation is the Summer Fridays Light Aura Vitamin C and Peptides Eye Cream. As I mentioned, very much into peptides. I like the fact that this is an under eye kind of corrector looking color. See what I mean? It's got this like orange looking tinge to it. It doesn't really correct the under eyes, but I like the fact that it's there. This is a beautiful, thick cream that, again, has not pilled on me at all under my makeup or under like anything else, under my SPFs, nothing. It's a huge amount of product. There's half an ounce in here, which is basically half the size of a foundation. It's really, really nice. It leaves a little bit of a glow under the eyes. It's gonna help brighten under the eyes with the vitamin C. It has caffeine in it to help depuff. And again, peptides to help with fine lines, wrinkles, plumping the skin. This is my favorite eye cream I've ever tried, and I only use it in the mornings because of that caffeine and because I want it to last a long time. But if you need like a bougie eye cream for the morning because you're like me and you wake up puffy and you're just not a morning person, this is the one. The last skincare product that I am recommending to you is actually a retinol, and that is the Peace Out Retinol Face Stick. Okay, so you're like, retinol? What the heck? Rudi, I subscribe to you for tretinoin. If you're behind and you don't know what's currently going on with my skincare, I stopped using tretinoin last summer, so not exactly a year ago, but like maybe 9 months ago, and I have not picked it back up yet, and for the time being, I am not using it. I have a couple videos talking about it that I can link up above and down below if you want to learn more about it, but for the sake of this video, just know that I have been using this retinol face stick for, I don't know, 3 months, and it has given me absolutely zero irritation. If you've tried the retinol eye stick, you'll know how good it is, and it's in this balm style format, which is why I wanted to point it out to you guys, because there are a million retinols out there, but how many of them are in like an inclusive stick that basically is going to occlude all of your skincare while having encapsulated retinol? Like, it's pretty unique. It's also kind of expensive, but this is amazing for sensitive skin. So if you have not tried a retinol yet, I think you could build your way up to like every other night or every 3 nights. It's amazing. I'm really, really liking it, and I highly recommend it for the sale. Shall we get into makeup? Gosh, where do I even start? Okay, we're gonna start with skin tints. I have 2 in front of me that I have recommended over and over and over that I will continue to tell you about, and 1 new one. So the 2 that I recommend to everyone are the Say Beauty Slip Tint and the Tower 28 Sunny Days. This one just came back in stock at Sephora because they were having some issues with shipping and things like that. I mean, everyone's dealing with that right now. So if you can get your hands on your correct shade with this product, highly recommend it. I think this one is a little bit better for oily to combo skin, whereas the Say Slip Tint, I'm in shade 3.5. I'll have all of that listed down below. This is more of a super dewy, kind of occlusive, very light coverage product. It's absolutely stunning. I've already gone through one of these. I use it all the time. I would say I use this one even more than the Tower 28, but in the summer, I'll probably switch to using the Tower 28 more. It's beautiful. If you have dry skin, you are going to love this. So either one of these, I highly, highly recommend. But the other option that I've been testing recently and was a gift from my friend Kevin, who was just here, I have a video of him doing my makeup if you wanna go see that. It's an absolute train wreck, but it's so funny, is the new IT Cosmetics CC Plus Nude Glow. I bet you were not expecting that from me. I know, I am like not a huge fan of IT Cosmetics in general. It's not like I hate them, I just haven't had the best lucks with their products, and I think the CC cream specifically reminds me of like, it was like 2016 and I was wearing really heavy makeup and I thought that that was like the lightest coverage I could find, but really it's quite heavy. So I was nervous about this one, but it is gorgeous. They have an illuminating version of their CC cream, so I was confused about this Nude Glow. They're calling it a medium coverage skin tint with brightening glow serum. I would definitely say it's medium coverage, and it does have a skin tint sort of feel to it, but it is going to be a heavier coverage than the other 2 I just mentioned. This is an SPF 40. It is stunning. It's glowy, it's beautiful. I will say that the shade range is pretty lackluster, especially because I'm in shade Fair Light and I am rarely anything in fair. So if you're planning on trying this out, I would go like 2 or 3 shades lighter than you think you are, because they're dark. They're very, very dark, all of them. So anyways, really, really like this. If you can find your right shade, I recommend trying it out. In terms of foundations, you may or may not know that I just did a video breaking down 4 different new foundations that are out right now. And I would say my top 2 favorites based on how often I've been wearing them are the new Kosas foundation and the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. So the Kosas foundation is perfection. I love it. It's a true medium coverage foundation. It looks like actual skin. It's stunning. I do have a couple videos of me wearing this, including a get ready with me that I can link up above. This is amazing. It does have an SPF 25, so I would say this is better for daytime wear. It's also packed with skincare. We've got hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, peptides, squalene, vitamin B5, Arnica caffeine. I mean, there is so many good things in this, and I would say this is great for sensitive skin. This is my #1 choice for foundation right now, but if you want something like super glowy, super lightweight, and like basically filtered skin, you gotta go for the NARS. This is beautiful. I really have found myself wearing this a lot. One, first of all, the packaging is like so stunning. It leaves the most glowy, dewy, beautiful look on the skin. If you wanna see what these look like more up close, definitely go check out my video where I'm wearing all of them and breaking it down, but I really don't think you can go wrong with either of these. They are absolutely beautiful if you're wanting a little bit more coverage than my skin tint recommendations. I think we're just gonna go down the line on how I would do my makeup, which next up would be bronzers. I have 3 options here, and I've talked about all of them before. I don't have any like new standout options, but the first one is the Sun Melt. This is like the easiest bronzer for everybody. I'm in shade medium bronze. It is a cream bronzer, and why I am saying that this is super easy for everyone is that it's actually in a pot like this, so you don't have to use a stick bronzer and worry about lifting up your foundation or your skin tint or blending. You can just go right in on your brush and then apply to your face. I think it comes in 4 shades. It's super malleable, super blendable, super creamy, but not too creamy. Like, you still gotta kind of push down in it. You're not gonna get like a ton, which is something that I like. And this is kind of that undertone there. It's just beautiful, and you get, again, a ton of product. It lasts a year. If you need a good cream bronzer that's like a middle of the road shade, I think this one is it. But I do have 2 other options that I just wanted to recommend just in case you wanted a little bit less product and you're not a huge bronzer person. 2 sort of minis. The first one is a mini from Tarte, and this is the cream bronzer in the shade Breezy. Similar packaging. It's actually in a pot just like the Say one. It comes with a tiny mirror, and this is the mini size. It's a similar, honestly, very similar consistency. I think it's a little bit of a cooler shade, but it is beautiful. I just gave Kevin a full size of this one because I haven't even gone through this mini. It's gorgeous, super easy to travel with. And the other mini that I wanted to mention is also similar, and it is the Milk Bronzer Stick. This is in the shade Baked, and it's a matte bronzer. And I wanted to recommend it because, again, I think this shade is perfect and it's travelable. You can just throw this in your bag. You can throw it in your purse. You can throw it in your travel bag. It takes up no room, and I like to actually apply it on the brush and then onto my face. But those have been the 3 that I have used the absolute most this kind of spring into summer. And I've really been drawn to this one because this shade is so perfect for my skin tone. But any of those would do. Gosh, next up is blushes, and honestly, I was pretty savage about this category because you guys know that I talk about blush all the time, so I didn't want to go through every single blush that I love because chances are I've talked about them in a favorites video or in my like year-end roundup videos. And so the 2 that I wanted to call out are ones that I continuously have been going back to and are semi-new in my collection. One is definitely super new. The one that I keep going back to over and over and over is the Patrick Ta in She's So LA. I think if you can find a shade in this collection of blushes that you like, do it. Buy it, because really you're getting 2 blushes. You're getting a powder blush and a cream blush, and also the cream blush is covered by this little plastic flap, which is really nice because you're not gonna mix your powders and your creams together. I'll be honest, I pretty much only use the cream blush in here just because I'm not a powder blush person really, but if I do need one, it's there. This was perfect when we went to Scottsdale because I was able to use a cream or a powder, and this shade specifically I want to recommend because it's kind of that terracotta in between a blush and a bronzer shade, which you know are my favorite, and it acts as a 2-in-1 if you don't have time to do your full face. These are gorgeous. I definitely want to try more from Patrick Ta, but if you're looking for more of like really dewy, glowy looks, I want to talk about the 2 new shades of the Say Dew blushes. So I think these will work for different types of people. We have a cool tone blush and a warm tone blush. This is the shade Spicy, which I freaking love. You guys know I love like a warm terracotta color, and I think this would look beautiful on dark skin tones. And this is the shade Chili, which is a cool toned pink. These are stunning, and I actually have a video of me mixing them together on my cheeks, and it is the perfect shade. Like, I wish that they would put these together, make them into a shade, and then name it after me. Both of these are stunning. They're super easy to use. You can use, I would use your fingers or a brush to blend them out. They are very travelable. Again, they're super small. And if you're just trying to get into the liquid blush world, or you really just want a one and done product, you don't have to worry about highlight because it's super glowy, dewy, natural, and just reflective, it's these. They're beautiful, and I think that they came out with great colors for the spring. Oh my gosh, I skipped concealer. We'll go back to that. Because I have my highlights here and I only picked out 2 for the occasion. One being the Hollywood Flawless Filter. I'm actually not recommending the Charlotte Tilbury wands this time around because they're probably out of stock, and I feel like the Hollywood Flawless Filter is a high ticket item that a lot of people don't want to pick up because it's so expensive, so now is the time to do it. It also comes in a mini size. I don't think every single shade has a mini size, but honestly, if you trust my recommendations and you've shopped with me before, you're gonna like this, so you might as well buy the full size. This is my Desert Island product. It's my favorite makeup product of all time. I have shade 3. It comes in a wide variety of shades. It can be worn underneath makeup. It can be worn as a primer. It can be worn mixed in with makeup. It can be worn as a highlighter. It's everything to me. Just trust me on this one. The second one is one that I have been shouting from the rooftops about, and that is the Sephora Collection Clean Glowing Multi-Stick in the shade Supernova. Oh my God. You guys, I'm obsessed with this. It is perhaps my favorite highlighter and maybe my favorite highlighter of the year. This is the most naturally dewy, glowy, sort of champagne sheen that you will ever get your hands on. I mean, every time I pull it out, I'm like, let me just add a little on because it's that good. It's natural, it works on all skin tones, it's $10, and during the Sephora sale, it's 30% off. So this needs to be in your cart, okay? It needs to. Okay, let's go back to concealers because I did skip over them on accident. I have 2 recommendations, things that I've tried within the last few months that I have been totally drawn to. The first one is the Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer. So this is probably one shade too light for me, and it still works because it's that low, dewy coverage sort of look. And it also helps really brighten my under eyes without adding like the raccoon circle, because even though it is a shade lighter, it looks crazy natural. This is beautiful. I would say it's probably the closest to my Tarte Hydro Sealer that I've been able to find. I'm so glad I picked this up. I was nervous to pick it up because the Ilia foundation and the skin tint aren't really my favorites. I much prefer their like blushes and products like that over their coverage products. But this is stunning. If you need like a low coverage, glowy, but still gives you some coverage concealer, totally try this one out. And if you're wanting to kind of ball out, if you will, during the sale, I am recommending the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. This is a pretty big product. It has 0.4 ounces in it. So again, you could use this sort of all over as I wouldn't say as a skin tint, but like as a spot concealer and under your eyes. I bought it in 2 shades because I loved it that much after I tried it. It is pricey, but if you're going to invest in your skin and in a good concealer, that's gonna make the biggest difference in the way your makeup looks, in my opinion, and this one totally does that. I will continue to repurchase this. It's gorgeous. It looks so good under the eyes, and I'm gonna talk about all of these concealers in a series where we talk about lower coverage, like hydrating concealers, so stick around for that, but these 2, I promise, if you like what I like, you'll love these. Really quickly, let's cover mascara. Everybody has a different relationship with their eyelashes and what mascaras they like. So I find that it's hard to recommend things because everyone has, again, like I have really long lashes, and so it's easy for me to like a mascara, whereas I have some friends who have shorter, stubbier lashes who don't keep a curl. So buy what you like, but I will recommend the 2 tubing mascaras that I love at Sephora. The first one is the Cali Ray Come Hell or High Water mascara, and the second is the Merit Beauty Clean Lash, I think it's called. It's gorgeous. These are both tubing mascaras, and if you want to learn more about what that means, I have a video breaking down my top 10 favorite ones, and both of those are included with video footage. So either one will do. They coat your lashes, they don't smudge, and they don't flake. This is the one that I am currently using because I already went through my Merit one, but either one, gorgeous. Okay, I have 3 lip recommendations, and lips to me are sort of like blush. Like those are my 2 favorite things to buy. So if you're looking for a different recommendation than one of these, just know that I've talked about a ton of lip products. But the number 1 recommendation that I want you guys to pay attention to are the new Juicy Lip Plumping Formula from Tarte. I am addicted to the Maracuja Juicy Lip from Tarte, and they came out with a plumping formula. Now these are not plumping like painful heat like the Fenty Heat. They're just like a nice cooling sensation. I'm actually wearing the shade Honeysuckle right now. Oh, it's so pretty. It's kind of like a black honey vibe, like just adds a little bit of darkness, and based on this shade you'd be like, oh gosh, that's so dark, but it's not. I think it would work on every skin tone. And then I also got this perfect nude in the shade Peachy Beige, and I got a pink in the shade Poppy. These are everything. They're stunning, and I just hope that you guys can find a color in this range that you like, because they're everything. And I'll probably do a swatch video of these soon. I didn't realize that both of the other ones are also plumping. I've just been into the plumping thing, and I've been really big into lip oils, but I'm not gonna recommend too many lip oils because a lot of them are always out of stock, including the Dior lip oil, which is my favorite and is completely out of stock. So the next one that I wanted to offer up is the Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss. I have mine in the shade Velvet, and it's just a beautiful pink. It has a similar feeling as the Juicy Lips, to where it like kind of brings a little bit of blood up to your lips, but it's mostly just a cooling effect. It doesn't hurt at all. They last forever. They're absolutely gorgeous. And they have a really cool doe foot. It just wraps the lips. It's perfect. It fits perfectly around your lips so you don't lose any and you don't get any smudging. And the third is for my gals and guys who are like me and sometimes like a little bit of a plumping and a fiery feeling to the lips. And that is any of the Fenty Beauty Heat products. I recently got this one in the shade Fussy, and oh my God, it is perfect. It's like the most perfect pinky nude, and when you put it on, because it brings all that blood up to your lips, it adds like a reddish tone because your lips are actually red and mad. Again, if that's not your thing, try one of the other ones, but if it is your thing, y'all are gonna love this. This has been my favorite shade of the Fenty Heat that I've tried, just saying, and I've tried a lot. Okay, 2 palette recommendations that I wanted to mention. You guys know that I don't really talk about palettes very often because I like a one and done sort of eyeshadow look, but there are 2 from Sephora that I wanted to mention that I use a lot. And one is a face palette from Natasha Denona. This is the Glam Face Palette in the shade Light, and this is my perfect to-go palette. If you are someone who travels a lot, you need this. It has a perfect lineup of browns and lighter shades. And again, this is in the light color. They also have a dark color for darker skin tones with a perfect cream blush and a powder highlight that is basically cream because it is so blendable and beautiful. This palette is perfect. You could bring this, a concealer and a mascara and like a lip gloss, and that's all you would need. It's amazing. It's expensive. Natasha Denona is expensive, but if you're going to buy Natasha Denona, buy this because it is versatile and you'll actually use it and get your bang for your buck. The second one that I wanted to mention is for my eyeshadow lovers. This is the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions palette. If you're someone who likes a little bit more drama in their eyes, but you still like a neutral palette, this is the one. It has beautiful shimmers, it has really nice kind of chunky glitters, along with a beautiful line of mattes and 2 cream eyeshadows, which I'm still trying to figure out exactly how to use them in this routine, but I think they're a beautiful base, or you could use them as a cream eyeliner, which is kind of what I've done. Kevin also used this on me, so if you want to see it in action, go check out that video. These are beautiful. They're also like the exact same reflectiveness. I highly recommend the Natasha Denona though if you're gonna do any palette. All right, those are all of my makeup recommendations. Obviously I have way more, and if you have a question about something, let me know down below, but we're just gonna fly through some perfume and hair care. The only hair care thing that I feel like you need to pick up in the sale is the Kerastase Elixir Ultimate. So I bought this because my hairdresser uses this on me, and when she told me that you could use it on damp hair, wet hair, dry hair, styled hair, I was like, oh, that's perfect because it's an all-in-one. It's a heat protectant, but it's also an oil to help with frizziness and dry ends. I don't recommend using this on the root, but they have a mini, I think, and a full size, and it is expensive, but I've been using this forever, and I've only used literally this much of it because you do not need a lot, especially if you have thinner hair like myself. I think this works on all hair types. It's just become my #1 favorite thing to use in my hair to leave it so soft and supple. And it smells so good. It smells like you just went to the salon every time you use it. So definitely recommend that. When it comes to perfume, Again, everybody is different and it's so hard to recommend perfume over like a YouTube video because everybody likes specific things, and the way that someone describes a perfume, you automatically are like, yeah, that sounds amazing. It's fruity, it's sweet, it's floral. You're like, okay, yeah, great. And then you go smell it and it's just not your thing at all. So what I will say is any perfume from the brand Replica that you think you might like, I say try it out. I own upwards of 5 or 6 different Replica scents, and they are the most unique scents in my collection, and I absolutely love wearing them. They just remind me of certain places, certain people. They last for a long time, and they're not too overpowering. My favorite of all of the ones that I own is Coffee Break. It is a beautiful unisex scent. It smells a little bit like coffee, but it also has a lot of sweet notes. It has lavender notes in it as well. Love Under the Lemon Trees for more of a bright sort of smell. And then I know everyone loves Bubble Bath. To me, it gives a little bit of Glossier You peppery scent, but they also have a discovery of all of these where you can try them all in a travel size or in like a sample size. Totally recommend doing that. And the other 2 are ones that I love so much that I have in full size. So I'll preface by saying my favorite kind of scents are very citrusy and bright scents. I don't like syrupy scents. In fact, my best friend Kevin, when he was here, he was wearing the Bee perfume from, I'll put it up on the screen, and I literally had to ask him to stop wearing it because it was so syrupy scented that it was making me nauseous. So if that's you, totally understand if you want to head off this video because the rest of these are going to be not that, but this is the Black Opium Illicit Green from YSL. The only thing that I don't like about this perfume is that the bottle itself is like covered in glitter, and it's like chunky glitter. It looks like someone crafted it. For a YSL perfume, it's very confusing, but I love the green. This is like notes of fig, coffee, bergamot, citrus notes. I actually didn't really like Black Opium, the original, very much. I just thought it was kind of grandma smelling, but this one is not that. It's, I used too much. It's really good. And the last perfume that I'm recommending is like my Sexy Sultry perfume, and it is so unique. And I know I just said I don't like syrupy scents, and I don't, but this one for some reason is sort of, I don't know, it doesn't count in that category to me, and that's Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. Besides the fact that the bottle is absolutely stunning, it just smells so freaking good. It has a cherry amaretto sort of almondy scent to it. It smells a little bit like an alcohol. And if you ever tried Dancing Roses from Viktor and Rolf, which has recently been discontinued, which is so sad, it's this one. It's very similar to that. A lot of people say that it's a dupe. I actually like the Viktor and Rolf more, which is sad because they don't make it anymore, but this is beautiful. It's a beautiful bottle. It's sexy. It's super unique. People will definitely ask you about it. And I think he has a couple other like fruity scents like this. Like he has a peach one that I'm kind of dying to try, but this one is definitely my favorite. All right. I know that was a lot, and I really spoke very, very fast to try and get through all of that. But again, these are standout products that I think that you should definitely try. If you end up picking any of these things up, let me know in the comments down below, and let me know what else is in your cart. I'd love to chat with you. You know I love to talk makeup. If you like my outfit, my next video I think is going to be an Abercrombie haul because I have gone way too many times recently and I feel like I need to show you what I got because there are some very good things. So happy Sephora sale shopping. I hope you get everything that you dreamed of, and I will see you in the next video really soon.